guys, my name is Sandra and today we're going to do an art for you and me, which is a session for adults and children to do a creative project together. Today we are going to do this painted mouse, and all you'll need is a carrier bag, a food carrier bag. It can be any shape or size, it doesn't have to look like this. And we're going to take off this block bottom. So we're just going to snip off the bottom. Now, because this is a straight edge and my cutting may not necessarily be straight, we're going to use this as the bottom and this is the top. And we need to find the middle, so we're just going to fold and find the middle. And then we're going to fold down, and then we're going to put some glue. I've got several sticks of glue, none of them work very well. Okay, so we're going to put some glue, we're going to fold down, and that is the basis of our mouse. Okay, now what we've got to do is we've got to put some ears on. We need a tail, we need some whiskers and some teeth. The easiest way to do that is to paint first, let that dry, and then attach. Because they're so little, whereas this here, we can paint all in one go. So I'm just gonna look at the paper that I've got left. So I'm just cutting down the sides of these. Open that out. And just think about what I need. So I'm gonna have a panel for the ears. And if I fold that over, can make some ear shape. Like that. Probably find that a bit to come off, but I've got two ears. Like that. And then I need a tail. So I'm going to paint this panel for the tail. Then I need some whiskers. So hopefully I'll get 6 whiskers from that panel. Then I need some teeth. I'm opening that out. Just leave that to one side just in case I've not got enough whiskers. And then I want some teeth. So I'm just going to do a square, and then a rectangle, and then I'm just going to make a little gap in the front of the teeth. Okay, and then we're going to start painting. So I'm just sticking to a limited colour palette. I'm just going to do black, white and red. You can make it as fancy as you would like. So I've got this rather dirty palette. I'm going to put some black in. I'm going to put some white in. These are acrylic paints. Tend to use acrylic paints because they're a little bit thicker and they cover better. And then I've got a large brush. May need a smaller brush actually for the intricate detail, and some water. So I'm going to start with this body here, and I need to observe that I need to leave something for the nose and for the eyes. Just take that off. Nose and eyes, so I might use a pencil at this stage and just mark where the nose is. I've also got a belly, So you might kind of want to mark where the belly's going to go. You don't have to cover the whole of the brown paper. You could leave little bits of brown paper. To make this easier, we're going to do a daubing technique, which is a technique done by the Impressionists. So it's kind of short strokes rather than long continual strokes, and that will give us a little bit better finish on blending. So I've gone from dark to light here, so we've got like a graded paint, but it's entirely up to you how you fill this in. So although I'm kind of putting water on my brush, I don't want too much water, so I'm going to start dark, and I'm just going to daub. This is daubing, and sometimes you actually mix on your paper. So we'll just start off like this. Obviously I've got this newsprint down. Now when we're mixing colour, we go from light and we put dark into light. And that's so if I was going the other way around, it would take me so much white to get into black. So we mix from the lightest colour first and put black into it, or darker into it. And now I'm coming down and I'm just daubing dark grey instead of black. And then I'm going to get lighter. And I'm just conscious that this belly section needs to be a different colour. So we're blending whilst the paint is still wet. And we're just kind of making it look a little bit more fur-like with texture. Okay. And then I'm wanting a little bit more white. Now that's a little bit too much. The contrast between the light grey and the mid grey is a little bit too much. So to just blend in, just putting a little bit of dark to the light. And we're just going to try and blend the colour in. Now you won't be able to blend if the paint is dry. So we have to do this quite quickly and work on blending while the acrylic is still wet. Okay, then we're coming into the face. Just gonna move my brush out like this. And again, there's too much of a line, so dark into light and just mix. You could even take up the white, and once it goes onto the black, it will give you a grey. Okay, then we're going to wash our brush and we're going to look at the pink. So again, we're going to do the same. We're going to start with red at the bottom. A bit too much water. Red at the bottom, and then as we go up, we're going to take the white, we're going to add a little bit of red into the white, so we'll create dark pink. So we've got red, then we've got dark pink, and then I'm just going to take the white and do the edges here, which would make mid pink. Just daub to try and blend. That. I'm going to wash my brush now. And then I'm just going to get some white. I'm going to lay that white down. Got too much of a line, so I'm just going to try and blend. Okay, make sure it's nice and even. And then what I want to do is I want to do the nose as well. The nose has gone into the grey, but that will soon disappear. Hold the nose. Okay, like that. Just get rid of that thick piece of paint there. And then leave that to dry. Then what we're going to do is we're going to work on the our little features. So we've got a tail. I'm just going to look at the colour palette and I'm going to use up the excess paint. So I'm just going to take this colour here, which is the dark grey, and I'm going to rock backwards and forth. So when you are painting, it's very slow when you just go from left to right. And also it can create ridges. So what we tend to do is we do a figure of 8, and that just gives a flatter surface. Okay, so that will be quite good for the tail. And then I'm going to do the ears, and I'm going to do a similar graded wash. So I'm going to start with dark. I'm running out of paint. Let's see what we can do. Now ideally if I wasn't filming, then you need to make sure that this water is cleaner. In fact, I'm going to stop in a minute and change the water, especially because I'm moving on to white. But for now, I'm just going to carry on with the ears. Okay. Picking up whatever excess paint that there is, just feather till it becomes maybe more fur-like. Nice. Very good for the ears. Now I'm going to change my water for some clean water so I can paint the white. Now I've just got myself some white and some clean water, and I'm going to do the whiskers. I've also got myself some blue roll just to take off the excess water. Now this may need a couple of layers, just depending on how professional you want to be. But the painted panels must be dry before you cut, otherwise that they won't cut properly. So like this. Do a little bit of back and forth. Okay, and the white for the teeth. Like that. And then leave them to dry. I'm just going to put some white in the middle of these ears. Mix it with a little bit of pink. And then we're going to just take the hair dry these off, and then we're going to put the features, glue the features onto the main body and do some eyes. Now, while all these panels are drying, we're going to put some eyes on, but the black probably won't show up because when it starts to dry, the colours go darker. So I'm just going to lighten up this face a little bit, just so when this dries, I can go back over with black for the eyes and it'll show up. So I'm just going to go over, again doing my daubing strokes, and I'm just going to lighten up the face. Now, if you want to use a smaller brush than this, please do. I'm using a flat brush for a flat wash, whereas a pointed brush is more for detail. And then I'm just going to come back in with the black. And just lighten up that face. Even if I put white straight on here, because it's so wet, it will lighten up, but it won't go on white, it'll go on just a lighter grey. Okay. The sun started to shine now, so hopefully you can still see this demonstration. Still going to go a little bit lighter. So just keep working on it. It's okay to have quite thick paint. Just keep working on it until you're happy with what you've got. There's no right or wrong. You're just working in these layers. And to blend, you get a clean brush, you wipe off the excess, and you just tickle the edges, and it creates a blend. Okay, good. So we'll leave that to dry, we'll leave these to dry, and then we'll do our features. So now we have bright sunshine here for once, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to see. I'm just going to try and move my chair this way out of the sun. And what we need to do is we need to do some whiskers. So I'm not going to bother drawing some strips. I'm just going to cut the strips. So we need, I don't know, 3 either side. And then if you want to make them curl a little bit, just get the edge of your scissors and a little bit like ribbon when you're curling ribbon. These are still damp, so don't put too much pressure on, otherwise it'll snap. So just curl the whiskers for our mouse. And then we need a tail, and we'll do the same thing. Just do a strip, a longer strip, and curl the tail for the mouse. And then we're going to put things together. Now these have curled, I suppose ears do curl, but just try and straighten those out. So we're going to kind of do counter curl, just to straighten those ears a little bit. And the teeth, well, they're going to be glued down anyway, but just try and flatten those up a little bit. Now for the glue. We're going to put the ears on, so we're going to kind of glue just at the bottom with some new glue at the bottom, just there. And teeth, just move it onto your glue stick. Let's put our teeth in, like that. Okay, and you might want to stick the nose to the teeth. I don't know. That looks quite nice. I'm happy. And then whiskers. Now the whiskers, I'm thinking let's kind of do the bottom and attach them to the main piece rather than the face. So glue the brown side rather than the white side. Glue the brown side and just fix them into that triangle. Instead of painting the eyes on, you may want to just collage some eyes on. You might want to get some goggly eyes and put some goggly eyes on. Okay. Like that. And the tail, again, glue the brown side, stick the tail in towards the centre, and then get our small paintbrush, bring back our palette. I'm just going to do black, and I'm not going to do any detail. I'm just going to put 2 dots of black for the eyes. 1, 2. Make them a little bit neater. And we have the mouse. Open up so it sits a bit like a picture frame, and we're done.